What is the difference between act and rule deontology? Have you ever wondered how we decide what is right or wrong in different situations? Today, we will discuss two important approaches in the field of ethical theory: act deontology and rule deontology. Both of these concepts fall under the umbrella of deontology, which focuses on the morality of actions based on rules or duties rather than their consequences. Act deontology looks at each individual action based on the specific circumstances surrounding it. This means that the morality of an action can change depending on the context. For instance, if someone breaks a law to save a life, act deontology might consider that action morally acceptable. It prioritizes the immediate duty to protect human life over strictly following rules. This approach allows for flexibility and personal judgment in unique situations. On the other hand, rule deontology emphasizes the importance of following universal moral rules consistently. This means that moral principles apply to all situations without exception. A rule deontologist would argue that breaking a rule, like speeding, is always wrong, even if it might save a life. The belief here is that upholding the rule is essential to maintaining moral order. This approach values consistency and predictability by adhering strictly to established duties. To summarize, act deontology judges each action based on its specific context and may override general rules if it fulfills a higher moral duty. Rule deontology, however, requires strict adherence to moral rules that apply universally, regardless of the circumstances. This distinction highlights a tension between moral flexibility and moral consistency. Act deontology respects the complexity of real-life situations, allowing moral agents to respond appropriately. In contrast, rule deontology emphasizes the importance of stable principles to guide moral behavior and avoid arbitrary decisions. You can see practical applications of these approaches in various fields, such as healthcare and law. For example, a healthcare professional using act deontology might decide to breach patient confidentiality to save a life. In contrast, one following rule deontology might strictly maintain confidentiality as a moral duty. Understanding the difference between act and rule deontology helps clarify how duties and moral principles guide ethical choices. It also shows how moral agents balance competing obligations in complex situations. By grasping these concepts, we can better navigate the moral landscape of our everyday lives.